Okay, sorry for the cutoff again. So we were discussing how much hours children are getting sleep per night, how many hours of sleep children are getting per night. So children around 15 to 17 years old are getting about 7 hours of sleep per night. And so this poll was done in 2013 by the National Sleep Foundation. Um, so in the orange here, the dark orange is the actual amount of sleep per night the kids are getting. The light orange is the recommended amount of sleep needed per night for these children according to their age. So 9 out of 10 parents think sleep is very important for their child's performance in school, for their child's health, their well-being, their mood, and their behavior. Discussing electronics and sleep, 3 out of 4 children ages 6 to 17 have at least one electronic device in the bedroom while they're sleeping. And this is a little bit surprising to read this because children ages from age 6 through age 17. At age 6, the child is very, very young and does not know much about life and really does not know how to manage a device, and probably it could be harming them in some sort of way, whether for their vision or for their health in general. So it is a little bit alarming to read this as an adult myself. So parents really should notice how much time their child is spending on the device, especially children who are very young and do not know how to control their behavior. So 3 out of 4 children ages 6 to 17 have at least one electronic device in the bedroom while they are sleeping. Now, 27% of parents of teenagers who leave devices on rate their teens' sleep as excellent. However, 53% of parents of teenagers who leave devices off rate their teens' sleep as excellent. So when you have your device off, parents think this is better while the teenagers are sleeping, versus 27% of parents who leave devices on rate their teenagers' sleep as excellent. So it's better to leave it off at night so you can get proper sleep without the temptation to constantly check your device every time it beeps or makes a tone in the middle of the night while you're trying to sleep. Even for adults, it is not a good idea to have your device right next to you when you're sleeping. It can serve as a distraction in the middle of the night. So please be careful in general for teenagers and for adults and for all children at all ages. So enforcing rules helps children get more sleep. 1.1 hours more sleep when children have rules about bedtime. Children sleep 0.7 hours longer when there are rules around how late they can consume caffeinated drinks. So this is also important, especially with teenagers, that you should not really drink caffeine right before you sleep because then you can't sleep. Usually you cannot sleep. So children sleep 0.6 hours longer when there are rules around how late they can watch TV. So parents need to set these rules. There should be a time where the child can no longer watch TV before bed. Because actually, there are studies that say that the blue light emitted from these devices disturb the brain, and now instead of the brain wanting to sleep, it makes it feel like it's daytime and it's time to wake up. So then it's difficult for the person to sleep when they are constantly exposed to the device right before sleep. So actually, in general, for everybody, you should have at least an hour before bed where you're not using any sort of electronic device, so the blue light does not interfere with the brain's pattern to sleep at the right time. So parents need to set a good example for their children. So set a good example of children whose parents have an electronic device, laptop, smartphone, tablet, computer in their bedroom. So parents need to set a good example. 65% of children whose parents have an electronic device, laptop, smartphone, tablet, computer in their bedroom also have at least one device in their own bedroom. So parents have to set the example. So it's better that the parent does not have the device in the bedroom, so that way the child sees that as a good example in their own bedroom, so that way they don't have a device in the bedroom as well. So tips to improve your child's sleep. Make sleep a priority in your family. set appropriate and consistent bedtimes. So it is important to have consistent wake-up times and consistent bedtimes so for the circadian rhythm in the body, so that way your body gets used to a certain time to wake up and a certain time to sleep. So that way the body's not constantly confused. So that way when you try to sleep, for example, if you sleep at different times every day, your body will be confused, and sometimes you cannot sleep at nighttime when you're supposed to sleep because your body got confused. Your circadian rhythm, your biological rhythm of the body got messed up. Another thing to improve your child's sleep is to create a plan for when your child should use electronic devices in the bedroom. For more tips, you can visit thesleepfoundation.org, and this graphic comes from the National Sleep Foundation, and the link is up over here, the reference over here, and you can look at this link to know more about children's and teenagers' sleep. Also, we should teach our children to be leaders and not to be followers. So parents should not simply follow what others do, but they should do what is right for them and for their children. If a parent sees another parent giving their young child a phone, this does not mean that their child needs a phone too. Parents need to make the right decisions for their children at the right time, not when everyone else is doing it. So parents should not go along with the flow. They say that a dead fish goes with the flow. So we ourselves as people and as parents, we should not go with the flow. We have to make the right decisions for our children. So parents themselves should be leaders and not followers. So the parent has to be a good role model and should be the leader for the child, and so that way their children can in turn be also a leader and not a follower of every other teenager around them, for example. In turn, their children will learn from them to be leaders and not to go along with what everyone else is doing. The reference for this part of the presentation comes from Tom Kersing's article, Parenting Children to be Leaders and Not Followers. So our children are the leaders of tomorrow. So in general, parents should look at the big picture and know that their child one day will be an adult and will be responsible for a family possibly, and will be responsible for their career and their future. So it is important to teach a child to be a leader and not to a follower in all aspects of life, not just social media. But social media is definitely one of the key factors that will affect what they do in the long run, because as I said before, employers look through social media to assess whether the candidate is good for positions. Okay. Another article here comes from Common Sense Media. It's 5 important ways moms influence kids by Common Sense Media. So this link discusses 5 potential ways that mothers or fathers' actions, well, in this case it's mothers, but it's also a generalized article for parents. So this link discusses 5 potential ways that mothers or fathers' actions influence the development and perceived value of media in their children. These suggestions vary from inhibiting potentially harmful behaviors, such as texting and driving, to advocating beneficial behaviors like a positive body image and device-free meals. Now here we'll take a quick look at the article. First, mothers need to foster positive body image. They need to insist on device-free dinner. They need to choose high-quality media. Media that children can learn from, not media that has violence, for example. Parents should stop texting and driving. It is a bad example, and you need to set a good example for your future drivers. Yes, your children one day will be driving you. Also, parents need to raise media literate kids. So those are the 5 important ways mothers influence kids. And this Common Sense Media is about parenting, media, and everything in between. This is written by Sierra Felucci in 2019. So another one from Common Sense Media also is how teenagers view their digital lives by Common Sense Media as well. So this is a research report for a national survey of teenagers ages 13 to 17 report on their use of texting and social media. They also report on how using social media affects the ways they feel about themselves and their relationships with their family and friends. So teenagers find that the use of digital devices are more prevalent and essential in their everyday lives rather than in-person communication. Therefore, healthy communication and emotional regulation skills amongst teenagers are dramatically decreased. As a result, emotional deficiencies increase, such as loneliness and social anxiety. So this is a forum where if you have any questions about this presentation, you can post on this Padlet board, and any questions or concerns you can share with me here on this Padlet board about this presentation and about this website. The final thing here in this website is the post-course survey. So this survey, do take this survey at the end of this, completing this course, and let me know what you thought about this course. And thank you for completing this course and taking the survey. I appreciate your feedback, and I hope you benefited from the course. And finally, we'll go to the references page. In the references page, my references are Common Sense Media Research Study on 2012, the article by Felucci, 2019, 5 Important Ways Moms Influence Kids, Parenting, Media, and Everything in Between. Another reference, the main reference for this presentation is Tom Kersting's book, written in 2016, Disconnect How to Reconnect Our Digitally Distracted Kids. Also, Tom Kersting's homepage, tomkersting.com, Tom Kersting's Research and Statistics, tomkersting.com-research-. Also, Tom Kersting's article, Parenting Children to be Leaders Instead of Followers, and that's on Tom Kersting's blog page. Also, another source for this presentation is Moore's Theory of Transactional Distance in 1997. This comes from the Journal of Theoretical Principles of Distance Education. It comes from this link over here. And the final reference for this presentation is from the National Sleep Foundation. National Sleep Foundation recommends new sleep times retrieved from the website of the Sleep Foundation. So if you have any questions, please post it here on the Padlet over here. And any comments, any concerns, please post it here. And finally, do take the course survey and let me know what you thought about this course. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed this presentation, and I hope you benefited from it. Thank you very much, and I hope that this will help you to be able to help your kids deal with the challenges of being in a very high-tech world where we have technology surrounding us everywhere we go, at school, at work, at home, and everywhere we go. So you should consider these recommendations as you deal with your children on a daily basis. And thank you very much. The resources, the sources I use in this presentation are Google Sites. The online tools I use in this presentation are Google Sites, YouTube, Padlet, and Screencast-O-Matic. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you benefited from this course. If you have any questions, please share them on the Padlet forum. Thank you very much, and I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day. Bye.